scored their first goal.
If you're English, the 1966 World Cup probably sounds like this.
Some people are on the pitch, they think it's all over. It is done.
Or looks like this. But if you're North Korean, you might remember it differently.
Korea have scored their first goal of the World Cup tournament.
Victory against Italy.
Well, the crowd really saluting these Koreans who've played their hearts out.
Loss against Portugal. And North Korea wouldn't even have been at the World Cup if FIFA had not pressured the English government. But boy did they arrive in style. Taken to heart across the UK, particularly in Middlesbrough where the team was based, the North Koreans were some of the superstars of the World Cup. They dazzled with their personalities, leaving a deep impression on all those they came into contact with. And we've not even talked about the football yet.
In uproar, and they won! Good heavens, they won! North Korea have beaten Italy. What is going on here? They are delighted.
A historic 1-0 victory over Italy, followed by a tough draw against Chile.
They're looking a bit dejected and disappointed, but they've really done far, far better than anyone could possibly expect.
And a painful loss against Portugal. North Korea wouldn't be taking the trophy home, but they'd done their country proud. The 1,001 outsiders reaching the quarter-final of the World Cup in 1966. And it wasn't until 40 years later in a BBC documentary that we saw the 1966 team again. By this point, many of them were army generals. The lack of awareness of North Korean football is not helped by no broadcasters, no journalists, one fax machine, and one email address, with 90% of emails going unanswered.
G2.
Become the 2010 World Cup,
Korea DPR.
the world was given a second chance to see the North Koreans. First up, Brazil.
Headed down to Ji Yun Nam, and now, what's all happening here? My word! Ji Yun Nam, a Korean hero.
Ji Young-nam scored the consolation goal, but Jong-tae took all the limelight. The Korean Wayne Rooney dazzling with his skills. He also had Wayne Rooney-like changeable emotions. And Premier League football taste, driving around his hometown in Japan in an American Hummer. That's beside the point. Having only lost 2-1 to Brazil in the opening game, the government took the decision to show the Portugal game. Bad idea.
Welsh making the run into the penalty area. Round the rail. Welsh and 2-0. Almeida waits in the centre. Almeida! It's through. And Thiago with a shot. 4-0 Portugal. It's on. And it's 5. Surely it's the 6th goal. We have a 7th goal. Been on the end of a royal thrashing here, the likes of which...
After the 3-0 loss to Ivory Coast in the final group game, the North Koreans were heading home. So what do we know about football in North Korea today? Well, it's split into 3 leagues, with the DPR Korea League being the top tier. There are 12 amateur clubs within the league, with Pyongyang Club, April 25th, having won the most titles since 1985, when known data began. The clubs are distributed across North Korea, from Rason on the north border with Russia, to Sinuiju on the Chinese border at Dandong, and Sadiwon, close to the South Korean border. Like Italy, it seems that multiple clubs share the same municipal stadium, an example being Yanggakdo Stadium in Pyongyang, which is shared by 3 clubs. However, since this is North Korea, the majority of stadiums we know nothing about, nor the players playing in them. It's a bit of a black box. However, we know more about the players on the international stage. Han Kwang-song became the most expensive North Korean player of all time when he transferred to Qatari club Al Dahal from Juventus for €5 million. Hwang Leong-pak has been playing for several seasons at Austria and St. Paulsen, and defensive midfielder Lee Yong-jik, a member of the Zainichi group of Japanese with Korean ethnicity, plays at FC Ryukyu Okinawa. And at the end of 2019, the South Korean and North Korean teams played against each other.
The South Korean national football team, who left for Beijing on Sunday, en route to Pyongyang, were greeted by football fans prior to their departure.
Pre-match, both teams stood side by side listening to the anthems. The game became aggressive, with the Swedish ambassador in attendance tweeting a video of fighting, and the South Korea coach describing it as a war. That game ended 0-0. The next game between the teams is in November 2020. Should be exciting.